Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 4. I apologize for not making a video yesterday. I actually took my little boat out on the pond and started rowing because I normally do my rowing exercises at the Y. Yesterday I decided to actually do it in the pond. I can barely lift my arm today. Um, Today we're going to talk about a few things. Okay? When you are writing, you need to think about the writing situation. You look on your syllabus, it says planning the writing situation. There are really 4 things that you need to think about. First, your topic. What are you going to write about? Your purpose. Well, what is your purpose? You can either write to inform, to persuade, to argue, to analyze. Then you also have to think about your audience. Who are you writing for? Now, I understand in this class you're writing for me, but really you should be thinking about writing um, for another student or somebody that, had not gone through your situation yet, especially when we're talking about turning points. Strategy. This first one is really a narrative essay. That is your strategy. You're going to be, using narrative as a strategy. For your second essay, you'll be using cause and effect as a writing strategy. And your last essay, you'll be either doing a research essay or arguing for position. Okay. Now, on the syllabus, it says a sample essay will be examined in class for structure/organization. Your best bet is to look online and find a narrative essay. Actually, the best one that really is concrete to the point is Underwater by Ann Fadiman. You can look at the structure of that, you can look at how that essay is organized, and kind of follow along with your own writing. Okay. The next thing we want to discuss here is writing effective introductions and conclusions. I have found over the years that students, well, they either have trouble writing introductions or they have trouble writing conclusions. Um, or sometimes both, but not usually. Your best bet with your introduction is to use one of the writing strategies that's mentioned in writer's reference. You can start off with a story, you can start off with a question, a statistic on something. There are a variety of ways that you can introduce your essay. But your last sentence in your introduction should be your thesis statement. That's traditionally where it goes. Some people can imply a thesis statement. Some people leave their thesis statement for a second or third paragraph. I really want you guys to put your thesis statement in your introduction in your first paragraph, the last sentence of your paragraph. Number one, this helped me out, so I know you understand thesis statements. And traditionally, that's the way things have gone. Now, conclusions are a little bit tricky. Some people are not quite sure where their essay should end. I'm not going to give any advice on exactly where you should end your essay, and the reason why is because everybody's topic is going to be different. But you can use one of the writing strategies for your introduction. I wouldn't use the same one. But in this particular instance, you're going to be probably projecting into the future, or you're going to be saying, if my life hadn't, if this event hadn't happened in my life, blah, blah, blah. So the conclusions are very important. Oftentimes, students will try to tack on a conclusion because they're not quite sure where to end, and it shows. So when I'm going over your essays and, editing your rough draft, I'm going to be looking for, is this introduction, solid? Is there anything else this student can do to reinforce their introduction? Lastly, I'll be thinking about the conclusion. How is this conclusion developed? Is it effectively organized? Does it need to be rewritten? Or has the student just not, done enough to establish a conclusion? Remember, conclusions kind of give a finality to your essay. You don't want to leave your reader hanging. With that being said, this actually does conclude Unit 1, excuse me. Unit 1 is personal narrative, thinking about turning points. Unit 2, which is my personal favorite, analyzing effects of technology and science on society. It's funny, growing up, I loved science. I loved reading science fiction, especially. And I loved looking at technology and how it's impacting our world. I think we've gone a little bit to the extreme. Um, but one of the interesting things about when I make these videos, I actually have a brand new computer, one of those Windows 8s with those touchscreens. I don't use that particular computer to make my videos, or edit the papers, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Some of these programs are so complex that it's got a steep learning curve, and some of the things aren't compatible. I really want you guys to think about, what technologies you use on a regular basis. It could be a smartphone, it could be, one of those iPads, iPods, and think about, how that has impacted your life. Which brings us into our next writing strategy, which is using cause and effect. The easiest cause and effect that I can think of, especially when it's relating to technology, because we use Facebook on a daily basis, very few people have a private life anymore. They're always posting what they're doing on Facebook. And because of Facebook, people are getting into trouble with their work, with their jobs, with their employment. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever heard of people getting fired because of something they wrote on Facebook? It's unfortunate, but it does happen. The two stories that you're going to be looking at this week, you're going to be reading Cause and Effect, which is on page 175 to 178 in the Essay Connection. Read that before you read the story False Friendship or Fake Friendship, which is on page 56 to 60. Now you're going to be answering questions 1, 2, and 3, and 7. We'll also be reading the paradox, but there aren't any questions for that. So that's the first thing let's do. Questions 1, 2, and 3, and 7 for Foul Friendship. The second thing that's going to be due, I'm going to be sending out a handout on MLA and text citations. I really need to know whether or not you guys need more help with that. I really need to know whether or not you need some more work on that. And of course, the last thing let's do is the outline and first draft of Essay 1, which is a narrative essay on turning point. And that will be due Saturday, June 22nd. I will be out most of the day on Friday and a good portion of the day on Saturday. When I come home Saturday, I'm actually picking up my wife from New Jersey. She spent the week down there with her family. I'm gonna be immediately checking emails and making sure that everybody is understanding all of the assignments. Now, some of you have emailed my Hotmail account, which is fine. I just suddenly things are disappearing. I can only go back so far on my smartphone, so I'm going to be double checking that tonight. Okay. So again, Fall Friendship by I can't pronounce that last name. Wicks, I think. Questions 1, 2, 3, and 7. The handout that I'm sending you on MLA and text citation, and the outline and first draft of Essay 1. I know you have quite a bit to do this week, so I'll let you get to it. Enjoy your week.